Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Try It Out Adventures and another triathlon vlog. We are here at Hervey Bay and we are on the beach this morning for a workout. So join me as I take you through how I work out with resistance bands and just body weight. This is great for traveling and if you don't have much equipment, or especially if you are in lockdown. So join me and I'll show you my routine and hopefully you can take some things away from it. Okay, so first thing I always do is stretch before a workout so that I'm nice and warm and ready to go for the rest of my workout. So let's get into that. When stretching, I make sure that I get my entire body, starting from my legs and going through to my upper body, and I hold each position for 30 seconds minimum. That way I feel nice and flexible before I get started. So the structure for today's workout is very simple. What I'm using is a 3-round process and I'm going to be working 4 different sections of the body in each round. So it's going to start with core, then I'm going to move over to arms, chest, and then legs. And I'm going to do that 3 times through with 3 different exercises on each part of the body. And it's a really great overall workout. And also I'm going to use a high rep range. So that's great when you're not using heavy weights because it really allows the muscles to fatigue, rip so that they can then repair those torn muscle fibers. You'll get some DOMS the next day, so some onset of muscle soreness, but that's what we're looking for. So today we're going to go the 3 rounds, the 4 different body parts. So let's get stuck into it. In round 1 we have a plank for the core, and we just want to make sure that our body is completely stiff from our head all the way down to our heels in a straight position and sucking that belly button into our core. For arms, we are using the resistance tube with handles and we are doing bicep curls, making sure we're keeping the elbows nice and still, extending those arms fully and bringing those wrists and fists all the way up to your shoulders. For chest, we're going with just a regular push-up to start with. Make sure your hands are about shoulder width apart or just outside. Bring that chest all the way down to the ground and extend fully, locking out those elbows at the top, making sure we're in a nice plank position like we were just a minute ago. To kick off legs, we are starting with air squats, just making sure that we're squatting down to parallel. Try and get your butt all the way down to knee level and make sure your knees are out nice and wide, knees over toes, toes slightly sprayed out, and keep that chest nice and high. So for my last 2 rounds, I actually superset my core just to make sure that I'm getting the most out of it. So all a superset means is doing 2 exercises back to back. So you'll see that in the next clip, but I just wanted to let you know that I do superset my core just to make sure that I can get the most out of it, because core is so important in all 3 disciplines of triathlon. Not to mention every single exercise that you do, you use your core. So let's go. To start round 2, we have leg raises supersetted with flutter kicks. On the leg raises, just raise your shoulders off the ground and you can place your hands slightly under your butt and just lift your legs up into a 90-degree angle and then back down to the ground without touching your heels on the ground. Hold your body in the same position and just flutter kick your feet with toes pointed in about 6 inches up and down, keeping your heels off the ground at all times. 15 flutters on each side for a total of 30. For arms, we have tricep extensions using a resistance band of your choice, and you just grab the resistance band, fold it in half, place your hand in the loop side, and then holding it with the other, place it behind your back as low as you possibly can to get tension on that band, and then extend your arm above your head, keeping that elbow nice and wide. This is very similar to a cable extension for triceps. Next on chest is diamond push-ups, and these are quite difficult, so if you can't do a diamond push-up, you can put your knees on the ground for an easier position. Otherwise, just in a regular plank, as we were speaking about before, chest to the floor and extending fully up. To end the first set of round 2, we have lunges, and these are just alternating. Make sure that you keep your knee outside of your toes, just because you don't want to collapse inwards, because that can be quite dangerous. Bring that back knee down to the ground and then stand back up into your original position, keeping that chest nice and high, activating that core all the way through. Round 3, for our superset on abs, we have crunches with your palms on your thighs, raising up until our palms get to our knees. Hold that position for 1 second and release yourself all the way down to a relaxed position and then back up to the top.
These are paired with ankle tappers, and all you want to do is keep your shoulders off the ground as high as possible. Keep your arms straight, nice and wide, don't cheat yourself here, and you have to reach either side to tap your ankle. 15 on either side for a total of 30. Rather than do another bicep or tricep isolation exercise, I decided to throw in a cheeky shoulder superset with lateral raises and front raises using the tube resistance band once again. Just raise up your hands to shoulder level, to the side laterally, and then to the front, 15 on each side. This next one on the chest is quite complicated. It is an upper pec workout, and it might not look like you're working chest, but it really does. Give it a go. What you're going to do is keep using the tube resistance band. You're going to stand on one side of the tube, holding your arm that's not working next to your hip, and then you're extending the working arm or the working chest from a wide position, and then kind of crossing your body to the center line to where your chin is, out in front, and then back down to the original position. And you're going to do 15 of these on either side. And lucky last on legs, we have a hip and glute exercise, and this is just using a resistance loop. So you're going to bring that up on your legs to above knee height, and you're just going to stand up nice and tall with straight legs, no knee bend, and you're going to kind of crab walk to the side. And this is a really great workout, especially for cycling. So just step 5 steps to the right, 5 steps to the left, and do that as many times as you can until you've completed 15 reps on either side.
Okay, so that is it for my workout this week. I hope you enjoyed it and you were able to take some things away from just using body weight and those resistance bands that I introduced you to today. If you do want any other exercises, or you want me to do other videos just like this, please let me know in the description below. I have hundreds of other exercises. As mentioned in previous videos, I am a qualified trainer, so if you want me to show you anything, please let me know and I'd be more than happy to put it out there for you. So now I just want to go through my week's triathlon training for you guys and give you a brief overview. So on Monday, I actually jumped in the pool and did 1800 meters of swimming, and I've been structuring my workouts very similar every time I jump in the pool because it's working for me and I'm seeing tremendous breakthroughs. So what I've been doing is getting to the pool, doing a nice warm up, and slowly increasing that the better I feel. So that's getting me nice and warm, and then as soon as I'm done with the warm up of just normal freestyle, I go into breathing drills. And what that simply is I do a lap of trying to do 7 strokes at a time and only breathing every 7 strokes, and that's increasing my lung capacity. Then I'll do 2 laps of 5, and then I'll do 2 laps of 3, and then I'll revert back to 7 and go down again. After I do that, then I get stuck into my freestyle portion of it, and that's trying to swim distance, and it's allowing me to go a lot longer, which is fantastic. And then after that, I do some drills and then a warm down, and then I'm done. On Tuesday, I went out on the hot country roads of Sabine. I was staying at a hotel out there, camping out the back, and it was hot and it was tough work. There were rolling hills, and I did 5 by 1 kilometer time trials, and they really hurt, but it was a great workout. Just going through those 5 efforts, on the first kilometer I did 4 minutes 18, second kilometer 4 minutes 15, third 4:10, fourth 4:25, a little bit slower, and then on the fifth 4 minutes 08. So I'm really starting to see an increase in that pace, and that goes to show later on in my week. I had a really good 6 kilometer run, which I'll tell you about in a second. On Wednesday, back in the pool again. Once again, as always, I'm trying to get in the pool as much as I can because that's my weakest discipline. I did 1500 meters, very similar to the structure I just spoke about before, and worked on my breathing, and that session also a lot on my kicking. I just got a pull buoy, which has been really helpful. It's allowing me to keep my legs together and keep that flutter kick going, and it's really helping with my stroke as well, just making sure that I'm pulling and not using my legs as much, just making sure I'm relaxing my body. So that was a pretty good swim on Wednesday. On Thursday, I did a strength session very similar to the one that I showed you guys today. So that was pretty much it on Thursday. Other than that, I had a rest period. You may notice that I haven't done any cycling this week, and I am cycling today, but I'm just finding it really hard to find nice roads to cycle on whilst I'm camping. This is my first week out on the roads permanently, so I'm a little bit stressed out about how many cycles I'm going to be able to get in each week and leave my van in a nice secure area. So I'm glad that I'm in Hervey Bay today and I can go for a ride, but other than that, I haven't been for a ride this week. on Friday, back in the pool again. It's actually very easy to find a pool whilst I'm traveling. I thought that was going to be the hardest thing to do, as I mentioned with the cycling, but if you find a pool, you can park up and just go for a couple hour swim. So I jumped back in and I did 2,000 meters. It only says 1,800, but every time I do kicking drills, it doesn't actually count on my watch for some reason, which is really annoying. But I did 2,000, and this was an extreme breakthrough as mentioned earlier. So I went through, I did the warm up as mentioned, did my breathing drills, and then I got stuck into distance. And what I'd usually been doing for distance is intervals, so stretching it out as far as I can, have a rest, as far as I can, have a rest, and as long as I'm getting between 400 to 800 meters of distance swimming, I'm happy with that, with the intervals. But that day on Friday, I did 600 meters straight off the get-go, and that's the longest swim that I've done without stopping before, so I'm so wrapped with that. It just felt great, and the longer I kept going, the stronger I felt. I obviously did strength workout the day before, and I did do back, so my muscles were starting to fatigue more so than my breathing being affected, or my lactic acid buildup, but my muscles were just really sore. So I could have kept going, but I stopped at 600, and I'm really glad that I did. And then I just did drills and a cool down, but absolutely massive breakthrough in the pool on Thursday. So I'm really excited to get to the pool and show you guys my routine, because it's absolutely working for me, someone that was really struggling in the pool, and now I'm starting to see some really great growth. And then yesterday I went for another run. Saturdays are usually my long distance runs, but because last week I pulled up with quite a sore hip, I wanted to keep it kind of like a mid distance and a little bit of a tempo run. So I went for a 6 kilometer run, and I ran that really smoothly. And like I said earlier, my pace is slowly starting to pick up in my longer distance because I'm doing those shorter distance hard effort workouts. So I ran that in 27 minutes 34, so that's 6 kilometers, and that was an average of 4 minutes 36 per kilometer. So that's definitely the quickest I've run over a mid distance. And then that leaves me with today. So once again, I'm going to cycle today on a Sunday. I'm not sure the distance I'll do today because I'm not familiar with Hervey Bay, but I heard that it's a really great ride along the coast. So I've pulled up right at the start of the coast, and I'm just gonna go for a ride and see where it takes me. But just a nice easy ride, tick the legs over, hopefully get over 40 kilometers in. But before I do that, I'm just gonna go for a swim because I'm at the beach, just worked out, and why not? It's a beautiful day. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. If you did like this video, like and subscribe, it helps me out tremendously, and I'll see you guys next time. Get out there and try something new.